from Diocletian's Palace in beautiful Split, Croatia. I find myself here on it's the last day of October in the year 2018, and this palace here was the summer home for the Emperor Diocletian from Rome, and I think it was 3rd century. It was built right at the turn of the 4th century. So I'm going to go on a tour and bring you along to what's known as the basement here in Diocletian's Palace. And this is the south entrance that you're looking at right there. And you can walk all throughout the palace itself, but if you want to go inside I was getting honked at there. But if you want to go, they don't have a lot of patience here when you're walking around the street doing a video like this. But anyway, I'm just going to roll with it. And this is the palace from the outside that you can see. And this is an overview of the palace. So you can see makes up a large rectangle. And this was going to be his retirement home. And his quarters took up I think about half of it. You can read up on this a little bit, but the south gate, if I'm not mistaken, is right here. This would be the south gate where we're standing, or where I'm standing rather. And you can see what it looks like. So right now we're going to go take a tour of the basement here. And the Game of Thrones, the movie, The Game of Thrones was filmed in Diocletian's Palace. So we're going to go and take a tour of the basement and see what all there is to see. But I wanted to give you a view of the outside to put this into some perspective for you before going in. I should probably show you the waterfront is actually just over there, and this promenade was added. The water actually used to come up to the palace. The water came up to the palace, but then when the French came in, when Napoleon came down and took over this area, they wanted to put a promenade in. So let's go inside and we'll take a tour of the basement. And as you walk into the basement, off to the left and right is where you actually pay for the admission. And then all throughout the basement you have tourists where you can buy various jewelry and other souvenirs, as you can see here. I'll let some of you ladies out there do some window shopping here before going in and taking the tour. It's actually very nice. It's not too crowded right now here in it's not too crowded because the tourist season is mostly finished. And here I'm going to just take you for a nice walk down this area here. And as I remember back, I actually took a tour of this place yesterday, and if I'm not mistaken, in the old days they actually used this as a latrine, if you will. There were holes that were up in the ceiling, and those holes would facilitate them going ahead and putting waste down. Actually, you can actually see one of the holes right there, if I can get the camera. So there is one of the sewage holes that would have been used to dump the waste down. So anyway, let's go and we'll go take a tour of the basement here in the palace. All right, so let the tour begin. For a cost of 42 kuna, which translates to about $7, you can come in and take the tour. So I've already paid my admission, and I'm just gonna walk you through the tour. As I was asking somebody yesterday, what you're seeing right down there, number 2, that would be the palace right there. And the green line, or the blue line rather, is the aqueduct that brings the water. You'll see there's tunnels there. There's an aqueduct. So it brings the water down. So I'm just going to go. I'm not going to try to narrate too much of the basement here. Rather, just kind of give you a nice view, nice walkthrough, if you will, of the basement. Rather old, if I'm not mistaken. This was built right at the turn of the 4th century. I think that hole right there would have been where they dumped the waste. And here is a nice picture of what it would have looked like. You can see the water right up to the south gate where we came in. So that's what it would have looked like. This was going to be his retirement home. So I'm going to walk through, and for those of you that are Game of Thrones fans, you'll probably might recognize some of what we see in here. So here is not quite sure what this is, but like a wash basin or something. Just amazing at how old this place is. Parts of stone pipes from the ancient sewage system is what the sign says. So that's what you see right here. These are parts of old pipes from the sewage system. Pretty cool. And I'll do a pan up to the top. Look at that. That's pretty cool right there. Look at the window. I'm using what's called a Zion crane, Zhiyun. A Zion crane to film this. And look at this here. Fantastic. Wow. Probably can just do a nice pan around. Look at that. Definitely some good Tom TV. It's actually amazing looking at this right here. Look at this. That is really something else. Maybe I can zoom in on those bricks. So I was told coming into the tour that shouldn't take more than 20-30 minutes to walk through. And let's see what this is. This is beams of wood discovered under the floor level of the substructures of the palace. Look at that. Quite old. Now, if if I understand correctly, the basement was built virtually identical to his residential area in the floor up above. And if you're wondering why I'm whispering, I'm wondering the same thing myself, because I'm the only one here. Wow, look at this. Fantastic. And here is the man himself. Look at that. Didn't necessarily look like the friendliest of guys. I gotta be careful not to get lost down here. No, I don't think that I'll get lost. But way too cool. Looks like they have a restroom down here. Okay, this brings me back to where the log was. This would be a sphinx, I believe. Look at this. There were so many sphinx here. I will actually try to give you a nice close-up view of that if I can. They cut off the head. And what do we have here? Sarcophagus. The finding originates from the area of the palace, and it was possibly used for secondary purposes. So here you have I guess this would be a coffin. A rather tall guy or woman. Actually hear water dripping. All right. I don't think there's too much more to see down here in this side of the basement. Here you're looking at a pressure equipment system for production of olive oil. Look at that. You can't go in, but with the zoom lens you can. Little olive oil. Look at that. Fantastic. Okay, let's go look at the other side of the basement here in the palace. Just on my way out of what is the west basement, I noticed this rather large room right here, and it looks like they have some type of an exhibit going on at the moment. But nonetheless, if this was the same as the upstairs where his residence was, look at this. Maybe this was his living room, if you will. Fantastic. Probably had a big flat screen TV right up about here, I would imagine. Really is wonderful being able to travel around the world and see such things like this that most people would probably see in a textbook or a YouTube video for that matter. Okay, let's get on to the east side of the basement. All right, and here would be the entrance to the east side of the basement here, and you can see both sides of the entrance. There's no shortage of opportunity to pick yourself up some souvenirs of your visit here to beautiful Split. Give you a nice view of the souvenirs you might see here, with an opportunity to take something home. Maybe I'll pick something up before I go, but right now I'm gonna finish the tour of the basement here. And coming in, as you come in, it says the wall of a construction of unknown purpose built of chiseled stone blocks. I'll actually show you some of this. Look at that. I think right now my friend Oz down under is probably looking at this on his 4K TV thinking, wow, Tom, great camera work. It's always fun to give people a shout out and doing the videos. Give you some perspective as to where we are. This sign right here will show you where we're at, that red dot right there. So let's go and take a walk through. Quite sure what that is. Looks like a face. Today is actually Halloween as I film this, and you wouldn't know it at all walking around the streets of Split. So as I walk down here, they have small rooms off to the side, such as this one here. Not sure what this is. Actually, a little plate on there. quite interesting for sure. My dad would have loved this place. He used to spend all his time down in the basement when I was growing up. Good old Dad passed away just over a year ago. But I'm sure he's here with me in spirit. It's actually a window to the outside. And what is this here? An open courtyard, it would appear. It actually is. You can see. The Silver Gate, the eastern gate of the Diocletian's palace, was dedicated to Saint Apollon, a saint worshipped all over the Mediterranean. Look at this place. Boy, anybody out there who's coming to visit Split, if you're kind of curious to know what the basement looks like, there won't be any doubt in your mind after you see this video. And I think probably right about now, at this point in time in the video, Skip Smith in the Villages is probably wondering if he's going to get a call out or a shout out. So Skip Smith from the Villages, here's your shout out. You can see there's the City Harbor. At that time, City Harbor had already had a well-constructed pier that could moor a considerable number of incoming ships. The most important factor of economic development of Split had been intensive trade with the Orient. Look at that. Wonder what they did on Friday nights. Okay, I think that actually is I believe that's just about the tour of the basement of the palace. So I hope you enjoyed the visit, and hope you have the opportunity to come here one day yourself and see this magnificent piece of history. Just incredible.